Well, well, well. Look what we've got here. Does this give you a clue? So for the new car, I ended up picking up this E90 328i. Now this car, I basically got it for free. Not free, but I'll tell you the price of it when I finish restoring it and bringing it back up to speed. The big part, the trunk was totally destroyed. I'm pretty sure this guy was trying drifting and it didn't pan out. Now this car is not without its issues. Along with the trunk and the front back bumper, it looks like a FEMA relief car. I mean, this car was soaked. It had it in the rear passenger compartment as well as the driver's seat. So when I was driving home with this car, water was just like swishing around. First things first, I had to get all this water out the car. I mean, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Hurricane Katrina relief 2023. The flood didn't clear. I mean, look what washed up from the storm. A lot of people didn't know where Kanye was. Here we are. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's aligned. It's aligned. Looks like we've found some rare species in here as well. What is this here? Folks, we have a peacock feather here. Can't make this up. So let's see under the hood here. I noticed that here there's a whole bunch of leaves piled up in here. I've already cleaned out the other side a bit. This much. Yeah, I don't even know what this is or how this could have happened, but here we are. All right, so first things first, we've got to get this trunk off. So you can see how it is. It's pretty mangled. Definite hot boy activities going on here. If I were to guess, he probably drove into a pole or something. All right. So here we go. Here's what the back looks like. Right in the center, it seems to be pretty crushed in. It's really hard to make out what happened here. I feel like it's like CSI or something like that. But anyway, from what I could see under here, the crash bar isn't actually damaged. So it'll be a matter of taking off the rear bumper, taking off the trunk, and in terms of straightening out, let's see. So this thing up here looks like this part of the trunk will have to be straightened out. So there's things to do that. But in terms of the crash bar, I won't need an actual crash bar. Definitely rear bumper, tail light, trunk. But the main ones are having the right color bumper, having the right color trunk. So I'm going to start off by getting this trunk off. I think it should be pretty straightforward. In terms of the supports for the trunk, the shocks to help it go down or stay up, I should say. I think if I remove these two on either side, it'll get the trunk off. The wiring harness is right here. Have to take that off as well. But I'm going to start with that and see if it works. Good. So these are 11s. So to remove these struts, there's a little clip here. It's like almost like a C. It's shaped like a C. You get a screwdriver, a little flathead screwdriver, get it underneath, and take off the clip. Don't lose this because you're gonna need to put it back on. All right, there you go. And once you do that, it just comes straight off. just like that. Let's move it out the way. All right, move it out the way. And then it's just a matter of taking these last pieces out. All right, so for this boot, it's just a matter of getting underneath there, and there we go. So now I'm gonna try to get my screwdriver, see if I could get underneath it and remove these. And so you get it in between the two pieces, then separate them. Once you get them separated, it pulls straight out. You see it's held in by essentially a tension hold, right? Once it gets in, these expand, and that's what keeps it in there. So there's quite a few of these. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 more underneath. So you'll remove these 8 clips. Try not to break them, because personally I'm gonna have to source another trunk. I'll need it Alpine white like this one. But in terms of this felt covering, totally reusable. You might need, you might not get it with this, frankly. So you want to save as many of the parts as you can, especially if you're getting your parts from the pick and pull or that sort of thing. You know, another car wreck. You never know what you're going to get, so save as much as you can. So I'm going to focus on getting these things out. But once all these things are out, that's when you could take this piece off, and it will reveal the wiring harness, right? It'll reveal the wiring harness that comes through here. Now, as far as removing the harness itself, it's in by these little plastic, it's little like plastic clips, right? There's no magic to it. You just gotta pull them out. So it does take a little bit of force. Take your time and just remove them one at a time, so that you could have the harness and really make your life infinitely easier. So once you get everything detached, right, you'll just have the harness by itself. You have to snake it through here, because this part, right, it stays connected to the car to make sure everything's still working properly, and you snake through the rest. All right. So now with the harness out, everything being pulled through here, quite literally pulled through there, you'll have everything here. You know, it's best practice to label where everything goes. Pro tip though, from a non-pro, is the longer it is, the further left it's gonna go. So, you know, the longest wire is going to go to the driver's side tail light, then move your way over. There's really only, what, 5 pieces. There's one that goes to the driver's side tail light, another to the left side license plate light, one in the middle, right, for where the automatic latch goes, the pull essentially. The next is to the other license plate light, and lastly to the tail lights. And you'll do it by length, and you'll know. And so with that out the way, we could finally get back to removing the trunk itself. Now, you've got to be careful here. If you can get help, take the help, because the trunk, right, it'll come straight off these hinges and fall onto the rear glass. You already have enough damage. If you're in a position to have to be doing this, please be careful. It'll fall right on that glass and break it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time, because I don't have help. That's how you get the trunk off. So that's step 1 there. You're going to have the fender liner still here, the wiring harness, the two latches, all of that stays on the car. The wiring harness obviously stays on the car. What happens next is you're gonna put on the replacement trunk, which I have to source, and once I do, we'll get things going. But let me give you a look at the old trunk. Here it is out here. You can see this thing is in terrible shape. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. It's barely recognizable as a trunk. So fortunately, as soon as I wrapped up filming this video, I was able to source an Alpine white trunk for the E90. So in the next video, I'll replace the trunk as well as start working on the rear bumper. Thanks for taking a look, and drive safely out there, guys.